well enough, then I will just go with my go-to, which is, of course, Jake and Jackie, because I know their story the best. And I just take a quick second to say, my diamond mentors are Jake and Jackie Baker. Here's what they've done. They've been free for 24 years. He had a military background, high school educated. She was, a chemist. And I might give a quick, simple story of anything I've heard at a conference. So maybe, their son was in Fiji and he flew in with a 2 days notice, and, his favorite orchestra was playing in Las Vegas, and they decided to, on a whim, literally in a 2 day span, buy tickets, fly out there, and take a week vacation with the family. And I say, I'm basically trying to paint a picture of, it's not just about the money, but it's about what money can provide, which is the time and the memories that you can't buy back. And so, if there's a specific diamond or story that you've heard that really hit home for you, utilize that. It doesn't have to be Jake and Jackie. In fact, I would recommend utilizing whatever emotionally gets you, because you're going to be able to convey that with passion and with genuineness. And so it could be anything that you've heard, but again, just that time and money, that freedom is all you're trying to convey. Okay? And so at the end of that, I basically say, one thing I forgot to do, and you can do this before you get into team development. That's where I would recommend putting it, but occasionally I go through this and I forget to say it, so I can, you just roll with it, like I just did. So I'll say, you want to mention, and so obviously, like any business, does cost to get started. So with Amway, it's $185 to get started, and $35 to get partnered up with LTE training. So honestly, I was amazed when I heard that, because, when I started my traditional business, it was a lot more than that. And if you're comfortable saying it, I would say it. Or say, the average business owner, to get started in business is $100,000 plus to get a business up and going. And so honestly, this was small potatoes. And what's super cool is we do have a 3-month money back guarantee, which kind of eliminates the risk factor that most business owners have to have when they get started in business. So the $185, I'll walk them through what it gives them. Gives you a starter kit, gives you your own website, gives you insurance. $35 gives you access to all of this, the mentorship, the weekly events, the audios, the books. It gives you access to that training system. And then all that I do is I say, so that's pretty much it. I'm sure that you might have some questions and stuff, but based on this, is this something that looks like something you could be successful at with some help? So, and honestly, how you say that, again, doesn't matter as much. The only thing you don't want to say is, what do you think? Because the truth is they're not thinking. They don't know. It's probably very new. It's probably unheard of, probably totally wild out there. I mean, you remember the first time you heard about it. So I don't say, what do you think? Because I find that usually the reactions you get are kind of like befuddled almost, like, So instead of, what do you think? It's a more positive question. Does this look like something you could be successful at with some mentorship and coaching? And then I wait, and I'm just silent, and I read their response. Well, or yeah, absolutely, or, probably not what I was looking for. It looks great, And so with that element, I would just say the more you do it, the more you'll be able to read where people are at. But that element is just like the rest of the filter. You've got your yes, and you've got your no, and then you've got your in between, your maybes, and those are probably not the people you want to work with. Now, you want to make sure you fish a little bit, because if after the plan they're like, yeah, it looks great, I just have a couple questions, that's normal. But if they're like, well, I don't know, and now you start hearing excuses come out of their mouth, that for me is a no-go. So, but like I said, that's really just more something you're going to learn as you go, as you do it more. Okay, any questions for you, though, on any part of that process?
If they say yes, then what's the next step?
Yeah, so the next step is going to be doing that getting started meeting. And I won't really go into that, because I think we'll just cross that bridge when we get there, and I honestly can't jump on the phone and help you do that. This, to me, is almost harder to do. I hate to say almost harder than GSM over the phone because they're both hard to do over the phone, but this is almost harder because it's so much information. A GSM, at least, like, I could help you cross that bridge when you come to it. But your role, though, would be, if they say yes, to basically book a time and a place to meet back up with them. And here is the only part you need to remember: 24 to 48 hours. If it's longer than that, I literally do not care what they have going on. Like, it is so crucial and so important, because at this point, you've gone through a phone call, you've gone through a QI, you've gone through a plan. You probably spent 2 hours with them, maybe a little less, but I mean, and if you wait longer than 48 hours, they're as good as gone. I don't care how green they are. Now, there's exceptions, there's things that happen in life, and that's just normal. But as far as you can help, no matter what you can possibly do to control that, you do not want to book that appointment longer than 48 hours. And in my opinion, 24 is really the sweet spot. So I'm saying, if they say yes, then I am talking about that DYS app. And I'm saying, great. I'm going to send you two things. I'm going to send you that DYS app, which is going to have some research links on it, to actually, give you, hey Brandon, we're recording this for her to take home. Sorry. I didn't want you to have background noise when you look back on it. Anyways, so I'm basically promoting, if they say yes, I'm promoting now the DYS app and the audio. So I'm going to send you two materials. The DYS app is going to have research links that you can actually go through, and it will go through frequently asked questions and some success stories. I highly recommend going through that, because this, it's not like a Google search. This is prepared, research links with credible, updated information that's probably going to answer a majority of your questions. So the reason why I'm promoting that is because I don't want them going home and doing a Google search on Amway. I want them looking at this app, because truly that's going to help way more than anything they Google is. And then the second thing I'm promoting is that audio. Okay, so I'm going to send you an audio link. Listen to that audio before we meet up, because that will probably, honestly, help you answer a lot of your questions before we even sit down. And then, you want to make sure you listen to the audio so that you can promote it. Look, this audio is by Mark and Meredith Mason. They have this background. Here's like what this conveys, for you. And so, and that is going to basically keep them alive during that 24 to 48 hour period. And then the last thing I would wrap up with. So basically, afterwards, you're asking them if they're looking, and if they're yes, then you're booking a time and place. You're booking a meeting, basically. It's a getting started meeting. 24 to 48 hours. So first book the time and place, then promote audio and app, and then that last piece, as I say, I really want to help you get the best part possible, and I'm sure that you're ready to jump out of your seat and go talk to a bunch of people, but I highly recommend just holding off and waiting till we get together tomorrow so that I can show you how to properly do that. Because here's the thing, right now, you don't necessarily even have all the information, right? I mean, you've got a lot today, but you're still trying to wrap your head around, and they're like, yeah. And I'm like, so honestly, the worst thing you can do for yourself is go try and explain this to people, because I want to try and help you accomplish this platinum. I want to help you find your 6 people. And the best way we can do that is through me showing you the proper way to talk to people. So for right now, I don't even want you worrying about that. I would just recommend you just gather information, and then once you've gathered all the information yourself, then we can teach you how to talk to people about the business. So word that however you want, but I'm basically trying to say don't go just calling all your friends, because it's not even about losing those friends as a prospect, which that is one of my concerns, because I don't want them to botch their list. But even more than that, at this point, I'm thinking I don't want them to call their best friend Joe Blow, try and explain, oh, it's this diamond thing, we can make a lot of money, we, sell this or that, and the diamond friend goes, oh yeah, that sounds like a pyramid scheme, and now, that balloon is just totally deflated. And so I'm basically preparing them of like, hey, just hold off till tomorrow. I want to make sure you're fully